Well, good day guys, and welcome back to another vid. This is another hip camp I wanted to try and have a look at. It's called Camp Crudine or Crudine, I'm not really sure. This is my first time coming here, and if I'm right, the entrance should be right here. It's a bit of a dodgy corner, but there you go, Camp Crudine. Book through hip camp. The instructions on the hip camp site just say come in and head straight down. I'm staying at River Camp 2. Just says follow the signs. So looks like as soon as you come in, obviously the homestead or house is right here, but the sign says Camp Crudine, Dean, this way. So we'll head on down. Looks like we've got one gate to get through. It does say four-wheel drive only, and the reviews that I read, everyone confirms that. So I'm going to get out, open this gate, and see you on the other side. Alright, so we got through the gate. Yeah, the website and all the reviews definitely say four-wheel drive only. This is my first time coming down here, so you're seeing it for the first time with me. Can't imagine it's too difficult. I have seen other videos of this place with camper trailers, so can't be too bad. But anyway, this I was going to say a weekend getaway, but it's more of a midweek getaway for me. Just do a couple of nights down here just to try it out, see what it's like. There's two camps here. I think one's called Camp Kitchen and the other one's called River Camp. I'm going to be staying at the River Camp one. I'm not sure if I have to drive past Camp Kitchen on the way through, but I guess we'll see in a second. I'll just navigate these tight corners. Not something you need a four-wheel drive for, but certainly would be tight if you were towing. I'm assuming I'm going the right way. I actually got no idea. Alright. There you go, rough service. Four-wheel drive, use low range. I don't think I'll be needing low range, but what I might do is turn the bloody sensors off. The Ranger tends to get a bit oversensitive on the parking sensors when you go off-road. The Raptor's been going well, by the way. What have I got on it now? 19,000 Ks. Yeah, it's not too bad. I imagine coming up would be a little bit tricky if it was raining, but otherwise it's a pretty easy road down. A couple of bumps. Parking sensors. What do we got here? So I think this first place here would be what they call Camp Kitchen. And I don't think, at least from the booking site, anyone else is going to be here this weekend. So I might come and just have a walk and check this one out. There you go. Welcome to Camp Kitchen. Not far from the river, but the one that I'm on is right on the river. So I might actually just pull in here and just have a quick look at Camp Kitchen and see what we think. Alright, so this is the first of the two campsites here. As you can see, it's nice and close to the river. I believe it's the Turon. But yeah, here is camp kitchen. It's not really my cup of tea, but I guess it's somewhere to get shelter, and looks like a bit of a fire pit there, a fireplace. And yeah, here's your fire pit. I guess semi-flat ground here for camping, and what looks like a toilet, which I assume will be locked, but we'll go and have a look. Yeah, not a bad spot. One of the reasons I chose this one is it's just so private. There's only the 2 camps allowed here, and once you're in, no one else can come in. Oh, no, it's not locked. But there's your toilet, which is half decent, I suppose. Alright, well, that's Camp Kitchen. We're not staying here. We're going to move on down to the river camp, which is where we will be staying. So I'll come back to you shortly. Alright, so back in the car, just leaving that first site, heading to Riverside Camp, which, as I say, I chose because let's say it's the only one down here, so I know that it's going to be private and quiet and nice and peaceful by the river. I believe this one is, at least from the photos, it looks like it's right on the river. A bit of a rocky entry. I really should get a camera mount because I'm trying to see where I'm going and hold the bloody camera ain't the easiest. This is where, the one thing about the Ranger is it has this 4-wheel drive mode, which means I'll get a front camera for times like this when I can't see over the bonnet. At least I've got that view to help me out a little bit. Oh, let's turn these bloody sensors off. Again, I don't know where I'm going, but there's really only one road. Just a little bit rocky. As I said, this would only be a little bit of an issue if you had a camper trailer that didn't have good articulation or suspension. I don't have a camper trailer, so not really worrying me. Also, I think this little bit of a tree here could cause a problem if you were towing, but again, not bothering me. We'll just go around it. Oh, and a bit of a tight turn here. You're not going to be able to see that very well on the phone, but we'll just sort of pick a line through here, drive up over the rock, and yeah, I guess if you were towing, this is where it'd be a bit of an issue coming in. But it looks like once you pass there, that's the worst of it done. The thing I don't like about the forward camera on the Ranger is that the minute you go like over 8 kilometers an hour, it cuts out. Let's see if I sort of speed up here a little bit. I just find that annoying, but anyway. Yeah, I guess this is it. So I'm gonna park the car and level it off, and we'll get the camp set up. See you guys soon. Alright, so just got the gear unloaded. Still got the rooftop tent just up. But one of the things, probably one of the bad things about a rooftop tent is because the rooftop tent, when it's set up, uses the car as sort of its base. So if the car's not level, your bed isn't level. So I've had a couple of nights where I've just propped it up with rocks or whatever. But recently, I went and got myself a leveling kit, a leveling ramp, I don't know what you call it, from Tread. So today we're going to try these out, see how easy it is to level the back up. And I just use a couple of these like caravan trailer levelers that I'll sit on top of, on top of the where the rooftop tent is, the tray, and that'll help me level it off. So I'll go and get these set up and let you know what I think. But yeah, I think these were a Father's Day present from the kids, so thanks kids. So let's get those set up and let's get the car level, and then we'll go and set up camp. Alright, so here is the camp set up at Camp 2 Crudine or Crudine. Got the rooftop tent. I do have it under a branch, but I'm not too worried about that. It's a pretty basic setup. It's only me solo for 2 nights, so I really don't need a lot. Obviously water is important. I haven't fully unpacked, but basically got a pantry, kitchen, and all my electrics at the back, electronics. So that stays in there for the most part. Tools, chainsaw, blower. Got the Sunseeker awning with the extension. Little camp kitchen. As I say, pretty basic. I'll get food out later for dinner, but a little 2-burner cooker and fireplace. I did bring my own wood. I wasn't sure what was going to be here, so I had chopped down a dead tree that was at our place for a couple of years. It's been dead for a couple of years, so I chopped that recently, and that'll get me through some of the night, or at least tonight. But there does look like to be plenty of wood around, so I don't think I'm going to struggle should I need to rustle up some timber. But that's the setup. It's not too shabby, and it is super quiet down here. Beautiful little spot by the river. It's not warm enough yet for swimming, but I imagine in summertime, well, not deep here, I think down the river a bit is a bit of a deeper hole. You probably should be able to get some in, but it's certainly pretty little spot. I did bring my gold panning stuff, so I might see if I can find a little running section upstream a little and do some panning later. But yeah, this is the campsite. It's fairly flat. I did get the car level. Those treads worked reasonably well. Yeah, so I was able to drive the car up onto those and just level it off, which should make for hopefully a nice sleep tonight. If not, I'll fix it in the morning. But yeah, pretty little spot and super quiet. So it might be time to crack open a coldie and just enjoy the quiet in the afternoon, and then maybe go for a wander a bit later. So I've just gone for a bit of a walk, just up river from camp, and this place just keeps getting prettier and prettier. What a spot. But yeah, you can see off in the distance, there's my camp. So yeah, just going for a bit of a wander. Have a look around. I do have to point out, I mean, it is still private property, but I'm guessing just walking along the little river's edge here, shouldn't be too much of an issue. I think there was a sign up there that I guess wants to deter you from walking up into the property, but I'll tell you what, for $25 a night, which I know isn't as good as free, but yeah, it sure is a nice little camp spot. And yeah, nice little bit of running water there. Maybe do some panning later. If you were here with your family, you had a kayak or something, it'd be nice to paddle down or upstream, downstream. But yeah, still not a bad spot. A few thistles around. Probably don't want to be barefoot, or at least not watching where you're walking. But there you go. So there is a sign that says stay out of that area, which I will. But for the most part, I'm just going to be wandering on the bank of the river. I don't see a need to cross. But yeah, that's the camp spot. I guess if you had a couple of cars, I don't know how many cars they let camp here in this spot anyway. I know you can get several up in the camp kitchen area, but I'm not sure how many down here. You wouldn't fit too many without getting too squished in anyway, but you could certainly fit a couple of cars, or at least a car and a camper trailer without any problem at all. Yeah, that's pretty much the camp. Might see what it looks like. Either come back and get some footage as the sun's setting, or knowing me, I'll be up at a sparrow's fart anyway, so I'll won't see the sunrise. But yeah, that's Camp Crudine or Crudine, I don't know. Someone can tell me how to pronounce it in the comments. But just out of Safala, for those that are interested. I'll overlay a little bit of a map as far as how to get here. It's about a 3-hour drive from where I am in Sydney, or out of Sydney. Certainly not very far at all. But yeah, pretty little place to come and do a solo camp, and really green at the moment. We've had a lot of rain in recent times, so it's nice to see a lot of green grass and trees looking reasonably healthy. As I say that, there's dead trees everywhere, but you know what I mean. Alright, we might catch you guys a bit later. Also, for anyone who's wondering what I do for power while I'm camping, if you haven't seen the other vids, I do go through the setup, but it's basically just a custom battery box, 12-volt system with 100 amps of lithium, sitting on a custom platform that I made for the back of the Raptor. That's got plenty of USB input and out, and cigarette lighter socket, so enough to run everything I need, which includes the fridge. So yeah, that's the battery box. I sometimes bring it out, leave it in others. I think for this trip I'll just leave it in. But in terms of getting into the fridge, as I say, it's just a matter of opening it up, grabbing out a cold ale, and yeah, that's the 12-volt system. Yeah, as I say, I could easily just take that out, leave it out here in the camp kitchen area, but I'm lazy today, so I'm going to leave it in. And with my Yeti cooler, means I can enjoy a nice crisp cold ale and enjoy the afternoon. See you guys a bit later.